and Roy is cracking on with the Drivetribe car. Starting the other side. You don't nearly cut my leg right off on that.
No, I fixed this car, mate.
Trying to run me over?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You've been busy.
I have been busy.
So we're hoping to do this without a full rear quarter now. We think we can. We just got to start. You know, there's a budget on this car, and we're already exceeding it really. So we've got to not cut corners, but if it doesn't absolutely need a rear quarter, we're going to do it without, aren't we? And we think we can now. So
yeah, I think we can.
It kind of all hinged on this area, and the panel can come in up higher because this area's it's really thicker filler. It's about 10mm thick there.
So this is how not to repair a car.
Well, that bit's not as thick as there.
No way to come off of that.
Oh, okay.
So,
alright. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like Gareth said, we'll come along here this time, heading to shutting down. Nothing wrong with this part of the panel backwards.
No, I mean when we were thinking it was a quarter, we believed the car had been hit here by a post, so we were expecting more damage up here. Sorry, hands in the wrong place. More damage up there because we thought it was going to hit there, but it's the damage is lower, isn't it? Yeah.
So I've pulled this back out. I've still got to tweak it a bit because this still slopes down here where it's been battered. So,
right.
But this is all being replaced. And I've just cut back what's needed and replace what's needed.
So the floor is actually attached to the seal this side, whereas it wasn't the other side, was it?
Yeah, just rebuilding this section up here at the moment.
Right.
Floor seal panel going tomorrow.
Okay.
And I've got to rebuild this in here because it's all gone through. So still lots and lots to do.
These seal end plates still make me laugh.
Yeah, they're quite cool.
We've not seen that before, have we?
Well, there's even a bit welded into the back here.
I'll just weld that bit in, but I'm going to leave all that rusty stuff there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to weld another bit metal on, but I'm not going to protect it.
At least they attempted to try and actually make an arch lip, but welded it on the wrong side, which is why this panel was out there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it was all flared right out, wasn't it? This was flared out, much further than it should be, this side.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're getting there. It's good to see you on the other side now.
It is, the other side's completely...
Kind of feels like, does it feel a bit like the downhill slope now?
Yeah.
Worst is over, isn't it?
Yeah, the worst. Well,
Ish, sort of. I reckon once you've got that still on.
Once this still's on,
then it'll feel like we're nearly there.
It'll feel a lot better.
Yeah.
But, so the other side's completely done now, so...
Oh yeah, we'll have a look at that, because you were welding in this piece, weren't you?
So...
That was going in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yesterday, so...
That's all done.
Sweet.
But yes.
Was that welded in? I don't think it was it?
I don't think so. It actually looks like a car inside.
Yeah.
So it's nice and solid.
Good job.
Yes.
Alright, thanks.
Alright.
Later. Okay, so Roy's been cracking on with the Drivetribe car. As you know, you would have seen in previous talks, it's been sort of with myself and with Chris, and that's because obviously this is a 20-minute video or so for you guys, but it's many weeks for us, isn't it, Roy? How long have you been on it? I think solidly. Is this week 4 or 5?
It's week 4, I think. It's only a week off, isn't it?
Yeah, and then a week on cleaning cars for the show.
Yeah, so it's got to be it's week number 4.
Is it? Oh, that's okay. I thought it was a week more than that.
On a downward slope now.
That's downward as in it's getting easier, not downward as in oh my god, we're sinking.
No, it's getting a lot easier. So as you can see, this side's actually complete.
Yeah, so I don't think we've shown this completed yet. Last section we showed the outer seal was on, and you were, I think, prepping to get.
I think there's inner arch and dealing with this. I can't
remember. Okay.
So yeah, we obviously rebuilt the inner arch. We also repaired this section here. This was all rotted out, this back section. So, and the lip as well around the back here was all rotted out. So we rebuild all that.
Okay.
Make that up. So
all looking really good this side.
This side's ready for the shop. Didn't have to repair this tray. just a case of just cleaning it up, treating it, and it'll be seam sealed when it's done. Now this side was the interesting side, because this is a side that was crashed. I think he put it into a lamppost, didn't he?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah, so, and that was direct hit here.
Yeah.
So as a result, it had some previous.
Well, we weren't sure whether we would have to do a full quarter on this side, were we? But we fortunately we found a way of not needing to do that.
Yeah.
It is a full seal. It's a genuine seal going on this side, just because we wanted to make sure everything was exactly where it should be because of what's been bent. What this also gives us a good opportunity to show is on the other side. We showed you all this when we exposed it, but we didn't show you any of the rebuilding process until we got to the outer seal.
That's very true.
That's just the way it kind of worked out with videos and what have you. But this side now you can see this is sort of what we term as the inner upright, and we've recreated that, a couple of drain holes in there as well, and that brings that down to what we term as the floor to sill panel, which is now new on this car. We didn't have to do any of the floor pan on the other side. We had to do the inner sill and then floor pan about sort of 50 mil in, because it just wasn't there.
No, non-existent.
So this side, in terms of actual corrosion, has been a little bit easier, but in terms of damage has been worse, so therefore slightly more tricky.
Yeah, there was also more damage at this end.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, there was more corrosion, sorry, this end. So this was all rotted out.
Oh, okay.
The lip that's here, all around the back here, all this section here was all rotted out.
Right.
I had to recreate all that. So it wasn't too bad. Done it a few times beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst part was this section here. Was this, because it was all bent in.
I'm trying to.
You're trying to get yourself into a comfy position.
Yeah, that's all right.
Do you want to wang this over this way?
Yeah, go on then. That way.
There you go. Is that easier?
Yeah.
So yeah, the main problem was this section here, because it had all been stoved in. Nothing fits. You get new panels, they don't fit properly. So I had to tweak, cut, measure, tweak it even more. This hatch will be rebuilt because you can't buy these panels.
And these are a pig.
Yes, they are.
Absolute pig.
Yeah, because I got it wrong. This end, I had to adjust that when I went to put the seal on. So we're now at a stage where the seal has. I've drilled all the spot weld, all the plug weld holes. As you can see, there are many.
Just a couple.
Yeah, just a few. So we're just getting ready to we're going to clamp this into place. And I've got this to fit just right here. Go like that, and then
Ta-da!
like that. As if on magic. So obviously it hangs low at the bottom. You have to clamp them all up here. You have to jack this end up to bring it up to a level, clamp it up before you start welding. And then it is a case of measure 3 times, check 3 times, and then weld. Because once it's in, it's not coming back out. So we'll have that in today. I'll also have this section repaired, sorted as
So
well.
you have to remove that to get what's behind in the right place, didn't you?
That's correct. So as I say, this is all out of shape. I've reshaped this off another car. So this is now direct fit.
Well, that's the one from this car, but you used another car to reshape it.
Yeah, so not a customer's car, a brake car. So yeah, it was slightly out of shape, so I bolted it into, because obviously that's where your door stop rubber goes.
Into there.
Holes.
Yeah.
And that's what I should do when I weld this in. I shall clamp that down into place, bolt it into place, and then weld it in. And we know it's in the right place. So yeah, I formed this back to what shape it should be on another car. And when it comes to welding it in, I shall bolt it into place. And this obviously
that all pulls down, doesn't it? Yeah.
This needs pulling down, that needs tweaking slightly. But I had it all fitted up yesterday, and it does fit. So that's my plan for the end of today.
Okay, so what we'll do then is we'll rejoin you once you've got this welded in.
Yep.
And your outer, well, you've got to do your inner arch lip, haven't you? So, I mean, we don't need to talk much about that. We're talking about it in loads of videos before. Yeah. We create that from a a repair panel, so the whole rear wing repair panels that we use, we cut a bit off and we create that, so we won't talk too much about that. So what we'll do is if we join you when that's welded in,
Yep.
when you've got
This done.
that in and you've got your outer ready to go on,
Yep.
and then we'll join you then.
Yeah. Because then it's on to ventures off the back end.
Yeah, this area around the back here, isn't it? Where it's all a bit meh.
Yes. That's
So
another day of fabricating. I don't think that's
yeah.
been too bad.
No, I don't think it will be.
If I'm honest with you.
I think it'll be one of those situations that you quite often get with rust where it looks worse until you cut it out, and then it's just a piece of metal to make, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Just a piece of metal to make.
Just another piece to make.
Do you think we're getting to a stage of there's more new metal in this than there is old metal?
It's getting to that point.
Yeah.
It is getting to that point. So,
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Good. All right, and then finally it'll be these bits at the front, won't it?
Yeah, somebody where the headlights sits.
Yeah. So
Unfortunately, they're a bit
McCrust.
They're a bit hold.
I still need to speak to Connaught, or try to speak to Connaught about this, because looking at where they've got the engine in that Mark III, I don't see how they can get a radiator in around here, because the engine was very far forward, difficult to show at the moment, but how they can get a radiator in there and everything without cutting something. There's a lot of other corrosion on this car, sort of in this area and what have you, that obviously we don't want to go and repair if it's just going to be cut out. So hopefully we'll have some. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was around there.
It's not too bad. There was one section that was quite bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that
there's actually a hole
one
there.
was,
Yeah.
So,
All right. Okay. All right, Roy. Well, looking really good. The car, that is. You just look normal.
always look good. So I'll spend the day welding.
Yeah. All right. We'll catch up with you a bit later.
Make it more solid.
Cheers.
Later.
Bye. Okay, folks. So it's now Wednesday. Just after lunch. So we last spoke to Roy. When did we last speak to you? Was it yesterday? Yesterday morning.
It was yesterday morning, yeah. I've literally just got this ready to go on. As you can see,
Now on.
it's now welded on, so it's now solid, structurally sound. So I pulled this out in here to get this to fit properly, and this section that I cut out has now been re-welded in, and looks like it's never been crashed or cut out.
I think people might notice that.
Yeah, they might do. But that's what that panel's for. So I've also done the inner arch. I've had to go further than our panel and cut this section out as well. So I re-weld that section in, because our panel only comes to about here.
That's the line
comes
there.
down here.
Yeah.
So I cut that section out there because I had to go further because I had to rebuild all of this. So that's all done. So like little cutouts. You have to make sure you do these. So this is a cutout for the plastic guard that goes here. So which one I can show you. Would you like some light? Let there be light. So yeah, so you've got this plastic guard that goes in, screws on here. So it goes in there like that, and that then tucks in like that. So you have to do this on the outer panel as well. Otherwise, it sits like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right.
And then that attaches to the bumper down there, doesn't it?
And that attaches the bumper down the bottom. So this section will obviously for the is the gap.
You just cut yourself.
No, I just got primer all over my finger. So this gap's for the clip that goes into the outer panel, which the screw for the bumper screws into. So
Cool. So just outer skin left to do all this.
outer skin to do. It's going to be a little bit tricky because I've got to try and make sure it all gets right down through here.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go in here and down. I should probably follow this. I'll probably come in a little bit just about here, round there, and then down there like that, because I don't quite know how the fitment's like on the panels, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
So hopefully that should be done this afternoon.
All right.
Our rear box section's done as well. We've done that.
Oh, okay.
So that's all done.
Alright.
So yes,
Looks damn good.
It's structurally sound now, this car.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Alright, so outer skin on. So if we join you next then when
probably
after this is welded up and you're starting to do stuff at the front.
Or,
Yeah.
or start the
Yeah.
rear, whichever I start first.
Alright.
So probably another half a week, maybe a week of the journey.
Okay.
So okay.
Cool. Enjoy.
I will. See you in a bit.
Okay folks, so it's Friday morning now. Roy's been cracking on with the back end. And that camera was pointing the wrong way then. Jiggle joggle.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out which way around to do it. Before I turn it the wrong way around.
Not that way.
It's,
Oh, he's that way.
it is that way. So
Right, so yeah, so what he's doing now is obviously he's cut out all the nasties and he's just recreating the piece to go back in here. Like thus.
set piece.
Yeah. And then he's gonna we don't have a tool that can recreate this lip perfectly, but we do have one that can put a smaller version of that on.
Which I did do a practice run.
Did you?
Yes. Because I wanted to make sure which way round the box.
So yeah. So as an example, it will be like that, and then the bottom will get trimmed to match. So just to give it a little bit more strength. It's not far off actually, is it?
It's not that bad, no.
Yeah, it'll look a lot better than it not being there.
Yes.
So
We started the rebuild.
yeah.
I've done this bit section.
Oh, that's all
here.
done, is it?
Yeah, I've done this section here. Then the next section will be this panel. As mentioned just now. And that goes on there, and then this panel then has to be spot welded back onto
Over the top.
there like that.
Okay.
And then that's this section needs to.
Then we got to do that floor.
Which Chris is actually going to break room.
Oh, okay. So we might.
And he's going to cut that hole in. He's going to cut this whole entire back section off.
Okay.
And I'm just going to unpick the actual tray.
Right. Okay.
Just trying to recreate that. It's just going to be a pain. So,
All right.
So yes, that's where I'm at the moment.
Okay. Well, we'll join you next then. Yes. Yeah. It's nice because this is different.
It is. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
fun. I like a bit of fun.
We haven't done that. So next day we'll join you when that's all welded in.
Yeah.
And you got that piece back on.
Yeah.
And you're ready to put this
Yeah.
in.
Ready to put the floor back in, and then
Right.
yeah. Then after
Cool.
that we're on to the front.
Yeah. Nearly there, mate.
It is.
Cool.
4 weeks.
I think this is week 5.
By week 5 maybe.
I think it is. Could be wrong.
Biggest project we've done. Welding, in terms of welding.
I would be very surprised if anyone has done this much work on a Mark II
Yeah.
to date, because you just wouldn't, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
You'd just get another one.
We did try to convince him.
We did, but he wasn't having it.
No. But never mind. Hey, if you want to have it done, then
Yeah,
we'll do it.
we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, mate.
Definitely. All right, buddy.
Speak to you in a bit.
See you in a bit.